I have a gentleman here that has trespassed into our school open house asking questions and claiming to be the parent of a daughter that he is not.
How do we know that he is not a parent?
Because now I'm questioning him and he's giving me names that is not a daughter. We have nobody here by that name. He gave us a different name and now he's changing name.
On August 22nd, 2022, Reed Duran visited an open house event at St. Bridget's School in Xenia, Ohio. Duran was allegedly observed by the Catholic school's principal, Terry Adkins, as suspicious and posing a threat to the children. Duran claimed to be a parent of a kindergartner, but was unable to provide the name of a child who attended the school. Upon their arrival, officers questioned Duran, where he allegedly gave conflicting reasons as to why he was really there. Eventually, Duran confessed that he was attempting to impersonate a parent as a way to abduct a child. Duran admitted that he was at St. Bridget's to find a small child to obtain sexual favors, per the case's affidavit. His plan was to lace a Starburst candy with tranquilizers before giving it to his victim and kidnapping them. Upon further investigation, investigators found no traces of tranquilizers or another drug on the candy Duran possessed. Officers requested Duran come down to the station with them for further questioning, and he agreed, but this fiasco had only gotten started. Here you can see Duran swaying side to side in his chair. This suggests that he's feeling a great amount of anxiety and pressure about his current predicament. You can also see how he eyes the pen laying on the table in front of him. When anxiety and panic sets in, a person begins to go into fight or flight mode. They are searching for or thinking about an exit strategy to get them out of this situation. Often, criminals choose to rehearse their stories in their heads before the lead investigators come into the room. Duran is looking for something more physical. Duran grabs the pen from the table and begins inspecting it. It's safe to assume he's assessing his situation and thinking about ways to use the pen as a part of his escape plan. While a pen is not anyone's first choice of a weapon, when you are confined into a small room, a pen can be just as dangerous as a knife.
9-5, so get a unit up here. Put your hands behind your back now.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Stop. Put your hands behind your back now.
Okay.
Are you kidding me right now?
Duran's brother and mother informed NBC News that Duran had been suffering from schizophrenia for several years, but has never shown any violent tendencies. 37-year-old Roy Duran, Reed's brother, explained that his brother was prone to acts of self-harm. He would stop eating, become extremely paranoid, and would often sit in a corner. Roy described his brother as being gentle and considerate. Roy further explained that his brother's harm was always insular and against himself. 58-year-old Melissa King, Duran's mother, stressed the importance of getting Reed help, despite his attempted kidnapping earlier in the day. It is possible that the events of August 22 were caused by a schizophrenic episode, or otherwise referred to as a psychotic episode. During these episodes, the afflicted may lose touch with reality, and the world around them can seem like a confusing, frightening muddle of sights, sounds, and information. To put a schizophrenic episode into perspective, the officer seated behind Duran is silent and doing nothing at all to interact with him. However, in Duran's mind, he may be hearing or seeing something confrontational that is making him feel paranoid and anxious. His mind could be going into fight or flight mode without him really realizing it. So, when Duran picks up the pen to inspect it, the intrusive thoughts take over. Duran lunges at Nicholas Peters, the officer in the room, and attempts to stab him with the pen. Thankfully, Officer Peters is able to react swiftly and deflect the attack.
Put your hands behind your back now.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Stop. Put your hands behind your back now.
Okay.
Are you kidding me right now?
Those who suffer from schizophrenia or may be experiencing a schizophrenic episode aren't able to accurately depict what is real life and what is not. There are several factors and possible symptoms that Duran is feeling right now that pushed him over the edge. This may explain why Duran decided to attack Officer Peters with the pen, despite being in a situation where any form of aggression or violence would later be used against him in a court of law.
Put your hands behind your back now. trying to stab me, really?
What are you trying to stab you with?
You kidding me?
Hit him with him. Where was the pen at?
Fucking no.
It's right on the table.
Right there.
Yeah, no, I know where it is now, but was it on the table? Okay. We'll get him off his chest.
Stand up.
Duran's attack was stopped and he was soon handcuffed. Originally, he was not handcuffed because he came to the station willingly and was not a suspect. However, after the attack, he was later charged with felonious assault and escape, in addition to attempted kidnapping charges. David Hayes, a Greene County prosecutor, spoke during Duran's hearing. Hayes believed, with the evidence presented to him, that Duran was a danger to the public. Duran was booked into the Greene County Detention Facility shortly thereafter. In September of 2022, Duran pleaded not guilty to the charges. Following this hearing, 2 competency evaluations were ordered to determine whether or not Duran was able to stand trial. In February of 2023, Judge Michael Buckwalter ruled that Duran is competent to stand trial. Duran has yet to be sentenced.